Dear colleagues, you are welcome to this presentation, which will be the first in series of presentation for this online course for all of us. This will be on learning management system and online courseware design. And the objectives of this lesson include the explanation of learning management systems, then the identification of learning management system features, then why MOODLE was chosen by UW. We'll also look at the differences between web-based learning environment and website, because all of them are web-based. Then we'll look at the course design patterns, especially in higher education, and the kind of course that you may be teaching and how you go about it. Then we'll discuss UW MOODLE course structure, and from the last objective, then we will now go into how to go about creating a course on UW MOODLE platform. Now, one may ask, what are learning management systems? They are software that basically we refer to as web-based software that run on a server. So a typical server is configured to host the learning management system, and you can only access it by using a browser. Now, when you pick a typical learning management system, it has tools that can help you create web-based courses. So, for example, you have all your course materials and you publish them on the learning management system server, and students also sit down and use the internet to access what you have placed on the server. It also has tools that will help you to set up communications that may be in synchronized form or asynchronous form. That is, you can set up a synchronous communication, which means that you have in real time communication with the other person. Then you can also have the asynchronous, which is not real time. Learning management systems also have the capability of setting up a quiz and survey. You can also record and view grades. You can give an assignment and try to use the learning management system to receive the assignment and grade the assignment, and all the grades will be in a grade book. So basically, this course we term, or we can or see what learning management system are. Now, what are some of the features of a typical learning management system? It has a feature that will help us to upload and share material. So you've gone online, you've seen a PDF file that you want to make available for your learners. When you move to the learning management system, it has a tool that you can use to upload, and the learners also will download and read. For the forums and chats, we've talked about them already, but they have the capability of communication. That's the forum model is there, and the chat model too. Then the quiz, then gathering and viewing assignment is also one of the features. Then recording grades into the gradebook. We have so many features. So as and when we're going through the various modules, we'll learn about some of them. Currently, there is a feature on the one UW is using, which is the video conferencing feature, that if you're not around, you can have a live chat or a live lesson with your learners. So why must one use a learning management system? For now, UW is not forcing academics to have pure online course, but you're supposed to use the learning management system to augment or facilitate the face-to-face in-class learning. So it makes your lesson effective and efficient, in the sense that you try to have your lessons being prepared. After you've finished, you upload the materials onto the server. Students access the lecture online before class. Then you will use the lecture time to discuss what learners were not able to understand. So there will be some clarification during the class. So you can use lesser time during the face-to-face meeting, and the remaining time you can use it for other things like looking at articles that you are working on. Why should one also use a learning management system? You have the previous one. These are some of them that you may also take note of. That's student demand. Nowadays, the type of students or the kind of students we have, they are technically and technologically savvy, and some of them want to learn online. Then also we have students who are working students, distance students, and this can also help them to learn about concepts in their area. And it also make our courses more effective and efficient. This is just elaboration about the previous kind of discussion that I made from the previous slide. Now, the learning management system that UW has adopted is called MOODLE, and MOODLE is an acronym that stands for Modular Object Oriented Dynamic Learning Environment. So once we say that a learning management system or course management system or virtual learning environment is a web-based software application, then MOODLE is also a web-based application that helps us to teach remotely. Why UW chose MOODLE? Because it is free and open source. If we go in for the proprietary one, first of all, it is expensive and we will not have any control over the server. Now, when we pick MOODLE, it has a very large community of users, and day in, day out, new features are being added. And whatever the not free and open source can do, the MOODLE also can do it, and even better. Now, developing web-based courses. before we look at it into detail, let's just look at the difference between web-based learning environment and website. Perhaps some of us may be thinking, why at all learning management system or MOODLE? The website is there. Now, learning can occur with both environments, and we all agree about that. You can learn on MOODLE, you can also learn from a website. But when we pick a typical website, it has no objectives and set goals for students. But a web-based learning environment has objectives for every lesson that is created on a learning management system. Also, a web-based learning environment provide feedback for students, and that will help students know the progress as they pursue a particular course. But a website does not offer such an opportunity. Now let's look at various courses that can happen, or various course design patterns that we see in higher education. We have what is termed introductory survey course, and this type of courses can mainly be referred to in our jurisdiction general courses, or a course that is looking for students to be exposed to concept, vocabulary, and foundational skills. Then we have skills development course, which is a second year or a level 200 course and the likes. Then we can have theory or discussion course. These are more advanced courses where students are expected to think critically about research and theory. So it depends. It can be graduate course or a level 400 course. Now, when you are designing introductory survey course, some strategies that you need to have in mind, because the goal is for exposing students to fundamental concepts, and also look at other kind of things in a typical course. Some of the problems that you need to address is large class size, and if you are having a large class size, you don't need to give open-ended assignment often to maybe an individual. You can make it group, and motivation is also difficult in introductory survey courses. Now, what must you do if it happens? So you put students into groups, you give them a project, and this will help students to collaborate. And some of the models that MOODLE can offer includes forum and wiki, and students can go and give out whatever tasks you have given to them. You can also use a quiz model, and also you can use forum as we discussed earlier on. You can also use glossary, wiki, etc. Messaging also, if you find out that a student is not taking part in the course online, you can send that learner a message, and that can motivate that learner to be active online. Then designing skills development course also, this level 200 and the likes type. There are things that you have to also take into consideration, since it's going to be trying to give them opportunity to explore more into the field that they are. So here it requires continuous feedback and assessment. There are so many resources that you can use to help in skill development kind of courses. Forums are there and the likes. Quizzes also. Then when we look at theory or a discussion course, with this you want learners to read enough material, so this can be at level 400 or graduate level, and with this there's no much practical kind of application. So here learners critique materials, they debate and look at the literature. Motivation in this type of course is not a problem, because it's likely the population or the class size for a graduate program may be about maybe 20, 15, 5, even some courses you may have 2. So some of the Moodle tools that you can use include blogs, then forums, then choice, wikis, or databases. Now let's look at UW Moodle course structure. That's what we're going to go through after this first lesson. The first thing that you have to provide for learners is the information page, and it must have the course title and the course code together, followed by course description, course outcomes, course outline, then introduction. This is where, for example, if you met a class for the first time, you want them to know you, and you want to know some of them or even all of them. Then let's get in touch. You can also set up a main glossary, especially for courses that involves learners to learn some basic vocabularies and the likes. Then we'll have academic and technical support, then feedback, navigation tool using Moodle. All this, it depends on your course. You may even have different kind of subheading under the information page that you may think should be included. Using Moodle is known as, if you want to have a short tutorial for them, then you can include it. The navigation tool basically is created after the entire course. So by the end of this online course, you'll be able to also create a navigation tool that will help learners to navigate to a particular topic or lesson. So this is not cast in stone. You may even look at different information page from other learning management systems. You can adapt them. Then after the information page, then we have the learning pathway. in which you want to present lesson. So you have maybe lesson 1, the topic title, then a short introduction and summary, then learning objectives comes, then presentation of topic. If you want to present, you need to solicit for relevant previous knowledge. Then now you give the instructional materials. It may be multimedia materials such as text, video, audio, and the likes. For a typical lesson, you can add a guided practice self-assessment by using some of the activity models in MOODLE. Then you can now give assignment. This learning pathway is also not cast in stone. You can also adapt any other learning pathway that can be used. But for UW, we want you to follow this, maybe about 90%. Thank you for this first lesson, and I hope you have enjoyed it.